Okay. All right. That's that's hello, evening, evening, every. Okay. So we're about to start the broadcast. We're going into the Microsoft Excel 10 hidden Excel tricks that will save you hours. Okay. So we are going to start seven. 700 dollars. We're starting. Okay, so we are starting right away. We are looking at the Microsoft Excel hidden tricks that will save you hours, right? So let's still have more people coming, more people coming. Okay, so try to get more people to join. All right, all right. Let's get started. The time is ticking, and I'm very time conscious. Okay, so welcome to this training. Okay, so welcome to this training. My name is Abraham Enela, and I'm going to be showing you the 10 hidden Excel tricks that is going to enhance your productivity, and as a matter of fact, make your work great in your office. So we are going to look at 10 of them. So I want you to hang around with me because it promises to be a great session where we are going to be looking at key things that are not really mentioned but can make your work faster, easy. I mean, easy. Okay, and then we're also going to touch some very hidden functions that people have been doing other things. I mean, in a more tasky way, not knowing that there is even a faster, easier way to do this thing, and possibly some of the things that the questions that you have in your mind. How do I get to achieve this? How do I get to achieve that? All right, so we'll be addressing those things, and of course, as a means of bonus, you are going to have opportunity to, in the chat session, probably chip in some of the things that you will want, and then we'll look at the time and see how we can also help you to touch these areas. So let's go there. So now we're going to start with the first one, which is the flash field. Now, I've seen people use this flash field. Of course, I've seen them use it, but there are tricks around this flash field that will, just beyond possibly what you are looking at as a normal use. And the first thing we want to do is to use it to extract names. So we have names here. We have people's names, and we have assumed that these are names of people. So we want to use them. So, for instance, if I want to extract the first name from these names, then I can easily say John, just one, just one name. Then you will go with your control key on your keyboard and you click E. I mean, you press E. So I'm talking about control plus E. So you will use the control E on your keyboard. That is, you have typed just the first name and you just hold down the control key and press E. And you will see that all the first name have been extracted. So you can use this to easily extract names. So imagine if I want to do for Joe. So I can just easily say Control E and I have the surname. So instead of going through the difficult way of extracting names, this is a quick way. Some people use the left and the right function to extract names, but you can easily use the flash field Control E just to get what you want to get. So now look at this example here. So I'm going to just use another one. I will just work with another one. So this has 3 characters. So maybe we want to extract the adjective. So out of this, we are good, Sam is great. So once you type good, all you just need to do is hold the control key and press E, and you have the adjective being extracted for you. As you can see, good, good, good. Wow, amazing. Now, I'm going to use it for this date. I'm going to extract, so this date starts with a month, day, and the year. So I want to extract the year. All I just need to do is type 2024, as you can see, and I will do Control E, and I get all the 2024 value. So if I want to extract for the month is a bit tricky because the values is standing in between. So our result may look somehow. but it's fine. The result is fantastic. Okay, so that is that. Because sometimes if you are doing the middle one first, you may see it confusing itself with the first value. But this is good. This is more like it. And then I want the first value. So I put 2. Then on that 2, control E. So you can see that I'm able to guess the year. I'm able to guess the day, and of course the month. So there are formulas you use for this, but we're saying how can we achieve this without using formula? Okay, so even this example here, I was able to extract the second letter, the first letter of some of these texts. So instead of United States, it brought out United, so anything that has United will come out. And I also use the function, just a form of a um, trick, you know. Um, yeah, going forward, just a form of a trick. Okay, yeah, just trying to correct something there. Um, yes, good to go, good to go. Okay, now the so what I did here, let me just look at this one before I move to another example. So here I used the if function. So maybe you can learn from here. I was trying to extract the text that comes without the united. So if a text does not have united with it, I want to extract it. So what I just simply did was use if F2 is not. F2 is the value, is the cell, is the reference of the cell that I'm trying to extract from. So if it is not equals to united, so that is what this not means. All right. So not equals to, when you put this open, what do you call this? The less than and the greater than are facing each other, then that is not. Then I say if it's not united, then it should return the value of F2. Otherwise, if it is, if if it's not united, it's returning to otherwise empty string. So that's what I've done. So if it's not united, it returns the value. Otherwise, it returns an empty string. So I copied the formula downward and I got this. So you can always tweak things in Excel for the purpose of getting your solutions. Okay, so that is that's one part, right? So I'm going to go to the next one, but just give me 1 minute to sort out my internet connection. All right, let's go. So we're looking at the second tool here, or the second trick is called the double click magic. The first one that we have looked at is the flash fill, where we use the control E, just hold down the control key and the E to get the flash fill. And then we have seen the trick around what we're able to use it to do, including for dates and then of course for extracting the adjective of a particular text, and then we're also able to use it for other things. So the second one is called double click magic. Now, this is what many people do, and I'm going to show you something here. When people are performing calculations and they want to, let's say, normal thing like unit multiplied by, unit price multiplied by quantity, what you have is this by, this. Yes, that's fine. And then they drag down. Now, but imagine if what you have here is as much as 10,000 rows. Wow. So, what are you going to do with that? You are going to be dragging one by one until you get to the end of the 10,000. No. So, this is not easy, it's not the fast way. So what I want to show you is how to do it within a snap. And what is that? It's double click magic. So after you have done your first cell, even if you have up to 10,000, I've used this, but you can do it with any number, 500,000 rows of data, 1 million rows. Everything is going to go once. It's going to go once. So now look at it. I have this, so let's see, this answer here, and I want to double click at the edge. So look at this cross when it comes to the edge of the cell. So this is the cell where we have 90. When it gets to that edge, just double click on your mouse. That's it. And it covers everything. But now let me now tell you the cons of this. Okay, that's the advantage. But the disadvantage is if there is a gap in between. So let's say what you're trying to multiply is here. Let's say is this multiplied by this. So trying to double click is not going to work because of this space. So make sure that there is no gap in between the column that you're trying to multiply. So that's what makes it work. So let's say this is here, then double clicking will give us our result. But if it is a gap away, you're not going to be able to use it that way. So in case you're trying to apply it to your task, so this is what happens when you do it and it's not working. It's because there's a gap in between. So I want to see people, exercising this thing, and I hope it's an Excel class and it's a hands-on class. So my pace will be a bit slow, and the reason is in case you are trying to do it from your side. So we have a comment section where you can always put your chat if you have anything to say. Let me see. So if you have anything to say, just feel free to chat. Okay, send your chat. Let's talk. So this is a learning environment. It's also very good that you use this opportunity, to utilize the chance of talking with a pro. Okay, so you don't get to have this type of opportunity all the time, but once in a while, I love to give people opportunity to ask questions. I have a lot of students that I have trained, both locally and internationally, quite a lot. I do a lot of virtual training. I do Zoom training or Google Meet. Sometimes we use it. or sometimes we use the Microsoft Teams for our meetings. And a lot of people have been helped in the area of data analysis, SQL, Python, Excel, analytics, TableView, I mean, fantastic things. So you are talking to someone who is quite experienced in these areas. So I want you to utilize this opportunity um, to ask questions in the comment section. All right, so let me now go to the next, which is the dynamic table. The dynamic table. So the dynamic table is another hidden tool. This particular aspect is one thing that every Excel user need, especially if you are dealing with a large data set. But I still wonder why people don't use it, or why is it that they don't know that this thing exists, or that they don't know the usefulness? Because I know I've introduced this to quite a number of persons. Now, at the onset, when you put your data in Excel, your data is just a range. So a range is just a combination of columns and rows of data. But for you to be able to interact with your data as a table, you will need to convert it to a table format. And that is what we want to look at. Turning your range of data into table format. But I tell you, the advantage of using the table is quite enormous. But for the sake of this class, I will probably show you some 4 or 5 very powerful things that you will enjoy from this particular, converting your range of data to table. But please know that this is just a range. And for you to now have it as a collection of related records, you have to convert it into a table. So to convert it into a table, I will just select a portion of the range anywhere, maybe the top. Don't select outside it. Let your cursor be within. Usually I start from the beginning, and then use the Ctrl T. Ctrl T is the shortcut for table. So it will tell you where is the data for your table. Okay, so you will say, well, that's the range. So you don't need to do anything here, because the purpose or the reason for selecting within the range in the first instance was because I wanted it to auto select my range. So if I put the cursor elsewhere, then I have to do this manually. Then the second thing is that it's trying to find out if my table has a header. Okay, and of course my my range of data has a header. So I just click OK, and this will convert my range into a table. But now let's see the advantage. Why do we have to do this? The first thing is in the calculation. Now see the amazing thing that you enjoy from the calculation. Let's say I want to multiply the unit price by the quantity. First, you need to notice that it's no longer showing you the reference as in D2 or D5 multiplied by. That is because it's now a table. But just don't bother about whatever it's showing you, because what it's doing is it's collecting your data. It's treating them as a single entity. And so because of that, they have relationship, and they are inseparable. Now, so look at this. Look at what I'm trying to do. So I said unit price multiplied by quantity, and I press enter. Now, voila. Now look at what happened. It's going to give you your answer instantly. So what most people do with the range will be to copy, or after they have typed their formula, like what I just showed you, double click, and then you get. But with this table, you don't need to do that. Don't need to do that. Then the second thing is that you can also append what is called a total row to this your table. So you can go to your table design on the far right. You will see, so make sure that your table is selected, your cursor is anywhere within the table. So look to the far right, you will see the option that says table design. So you pick that, you click on that table design, then you see table styles options. So under table style options, you will see total row, where my mouse is hovering. So you click the total row and look at what's happening. You have your total row. It's just automatic. So it means you don't have to be typing function or formulas or anything. And then another thing is that you have control over whatever is showing. You have the bounded rows, like all those things that were showing around the rows. I can take them off. Maybe maybe that's why some people don't like using the table, because because of the bounded rows. But you can do that. You can take them off, and you can even take off the filter button if you don't want. And so that's another interesting thing that I need to let you know, that is inbuilt. That the moment you convert your range of data to a table, it gives you automatic filter option. So I can filter by any product I want to see. Okay, and I can clear my filter. Okay, so you can see three things we have done now, three advantages. Fantastic. First one was that I said if you use your formula, your calculation drops instantly. Okay. And then the second thing is we can apply a total row, in which case you see your total row. And for the total row, you can even still you can still click the arrow at the bottom and still apply more totals to every other part of your data. The last one I want to show you here is slicer. It's called slicer. This one is not possible with a range, but it's possible with table. And so you can, within your table, you can click your table, go to the table design, and select this option that is called insert slicer. Now, if your cursor is not within the data, you will not see anything slicer. So your cursor must be within the table. And you go to table design, and then you will see insert slicer. So all you just need to do is click this insert slicer option. Then what do you want to slice? So what do we mean by slicer in the first instance? Slicer is a way of using graphical, buttons or something like that to filter data, to slice it. So this one is fantastic for um, very large data set. So you have a very large data set and you want to be able to just navigate through that data set easily. Okay, so I'm going to apply it. So you can't apply it to data that has unique identifiers. So something like product, something like descriptive is what the slicer will do. So let's use it for product now. So we have product A, B, C, D. So if you want to slice to see only product A, can you see that? It's showing me only product A. If I click, showing me only product B. If I click, showing me only product C. So it means I have just a single occurrence of product C and the product D. So that is slicer for you. So you slice, you filter. It's more or less like filtering, but it's using a button. So this is good for reporting. In a situation whereby you have a very large data set and you are trying to quickly show a portion of the data. Usually in reporting, what we deal with is summary. Okay, what we deal with is summary in in um, in reporting. Usually, what you have is a summary of your your data and then a chart. But there comes a time when you even want to see what is responsible for this summary. How did we get this summary in the first instance? So you can easily use your slicer option to, to show the data itself. And instead of looking at the entire range, you can use the slicer to visualize a portion of the data. All right. So now, if you have any question, put it in the chat session. Yes, this broadcast gives you opportunity to chat. Okay. So put your chat, ask me a question, say something. Let's interact. I've also invited some of my students, online students, to join this live session, and I quite appreciate that. Um, some are joining gradually to improve over time. But this is an opportunity to talk to your teacher, okay? And then hopefully more students will be following us too. Okay. Now let me move to. So you have seen the table, and this slicer itself. You can clear it. Okay, that is, you can remove the filter. I remove the filter. So you go to the side of this side of the slicer, and then select clear filter. And if you want to remove this, maybe you feel it's no longer useful, you can just click on it and press delete key, delete on your keyboard. That will take it off. Just using the delete key and get it off. Okay. Now let's move on. So the next thing is we are going to look at the quick data selection. So this one is another tricky thing. Whenever people are walking around, there's always this character of highlighting and highlighting, highlighting. When I mean by highlighting, I mean selecting and selecting the range. And what if your range is quite a long range of data? I mean, it's like your hand is stick to the mouse, and you grab a coffee and you are drinking your tea while the selection is on, and maybe it's going to take 1 hour to complete the selection. No. So what I'm saying is, you don't have to go through those long process, because I know there are some of us that make use of very large data sets. Make use of very large data sets. So we are saying, how do you navigate around these large data sets and not highlighting or selecting? So now look at it. The first one is the Control Shift plus the arrow keys. So this one, you can use it to push yourself to whichever direction, considering the use of the cursor key, which is the arrow key. So for instance, if I want to select this downward, so I will put my cursor here, hold down the Control and the Shift key, and then the cursor key down. That's the arrow key down. So that selects that entire range. No matter how long it is, it's going to pick everything to the bottom. It's going to select all the range of data, right? So that is for the down. Now, if I'm going to select to the right side, then what I'll do is Control Shift right arrow. That will help me to select at once to the right side. Okay. If my cursor is on the left side and I want to select quickly to the left, then I'll do Control Shift left arrow. That selects to the left side. Now let's assume that I'm doing a calculation. It's because I know that this is where this thing will make more sense. Okay? Where to make more sense. So let's say I want to calculate 7.5% of this value. Okay? Usually, no, this example, no, this will not be what, but let me just go ahead. So this is not the example I actually want. I'm trying to see a simple example that this one will just be double click and you will get everything. So let me look at another thing that will make more sense. I'm trying to say, okay, let's say I want to use a sum if to sum products, sum by product. Okay, and start sales by product. So this one probably make more sense. So I have carrots, I have banana, and maybe mango. Okay, so these three products. So I'm saying equals sum if. Now, in case you want to get to know more about sum if, you can visit my YouTube channel, the Simply Scale Sync Lab. I mean, where I help people to simplify their skills, and there's quite a lot of topic. Some if and some ifs, count if and count ifs. There, so you may want to check my video and then just look up to that. You see that fantastic class session on YouTube on some if. So because I'm not going to spend time teaching much on some if here. Now, so I want to sum. So my sum range, my criteria range is this. My criteria itself is this. But if I use this method, okay, let me just do this. So I want to pick my range. That's the problem now. I want to pick my range, and I don't want to be dragging, because if there is another data set at the bottom, using this method of clicking the header will give you a lot of problems. So if your data is not exclusive to sheet, then you probably don't want to just click the header. But now I want to just select my range, and my range is from B2 downward. So I mean, how do I do this? And I don't want to be dragging and dragging and dragging. So what you will do is you will just click the first cell and use the Control Shift down arrow. That will select all the range. So what I've done is Control Shift down arrow. You see that selected all the range. So no matter how long it is to pick it. So I pick my criteria, and then for my sum range, I'll just click the first value and then hold down the Control key, hold down the Shift key, and then just drop the down arrow key. So that will take the cursor to the end and it will select the entire range. And then you just press enter. You have your value. Double click, please sign. Okay, so that's one very beautiful solution for large data set. And I use this a lot. I mean, I use it a lot. And I will encourage everyone to make use of this. So learn it, make your work faster. Don't waste time, valuable time, and your strength trying to drag. Just use the Control Shift down arrow, Control And another one is the control plus left, plus space bar. So if I put the control key down and I put space bar, you can see that it also selected the entire column downward. Okay, and the the row, the entire row is the shift and the space bar. So what does that mean? You want to select entire row downward, hold down the shift key and press the space bar. You know the space bar is the longest button on your keyboard, on your computer's keyboard. Okay, so you can also use the space bar to, to do that. So you can do Control Shift arrow key, or Control Space bar, or Shift Space bar. Okay, so still expecting comments chat session. In case you have something to say, or you want to say hi to me, for in case I have people who know me, and just say hi to me. Okay, so let's take comments and hi. Okay, so I can see yes. So can see someone, yes, hi, okay, thank you, hi, and then I want to see more. Let's have more. Okay, now let's move on. The next thing we want to look at is the paste special trick. I like this one too. Okay, so there's something that is hanging and staying somewhere in Excel for you, just waiting for you to come and click it, and you are looking for it, but it's hiding. So, is the paste special. So, I'm going to demonstrate it with an example. So, I have these names. Okay, I have these names, and the names are written in lowercase. And I want to change the first letter to uppercase and replace it, whatever I have here. So I've used the function equals proper to achieve that. So equals proper p3, that means I reference that cell. So the function is not the real work. Okay, it's just what I want to show now. So to paste that over here, so the first thing I want to do is copy it. So copy my solution, and to paste the solution over here, so I need to use paste special option, right? To make Excel to give me options to what I will do. So that's what we want to do. So you do Control Shift V. Oh, sorry, Control Alternate V. Sorry, pardon me. Control too much in my head. Control Alternate key and V. Let me just click again. Control key, alternate. You hold down the alternate and V. That's what I'm looking for. So it brings out this dialog box, and I have a lot of options. I have option to um, paste as formula. I have option to paste as value. So what I want to do is paste value. So you select paste value and click OK. So it will paste this thing, because if I just copy this, and let me just show you something. If I just copy this, I paste it here, there's going to be a problem. Can you see that? It's showing ref because this initially is a formula, it's a function. So to have the copy of it here, I will just click, after copying it, I'll just do Control Alternate key and V to bring out this. You see that? Then I'll pick values and that. So that Control Alternate V also gives you a lot of other options. Control Alternate V, Control Alternate V. Also has other options like transpose, easy to transpose text. Okay, but this is a formula. So there's still going to be a problem because it is losing reference to this. So maybe I'll pick this. Okay, then I'll copy this, Control C. I'll come here, Control Alternate V, and then I'll say transpose, click OK. So I can transpose. That's to turn a vertical data into an horizontal data. Good. All right. So move on. Move on. All right. So move on. So the next thing that we want to look at, this one is big, and you need this. I wish everyone around watching is the XLOOKUP versus VLOOKUP. XLOOKUP versus VLOOKUP. Okay. So before I go into that, I want to also pause a little and get comments. In case I have comments from the session, let's see. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. All right. Let's continue. I had a little power glitch. I had to quickly take care of that also. Okay. Let's go there. So VLOOKUP versus the XLOOKUP. There are a lot of people that talk about VLOOKUP. So I've seen a lot of people that know VLOOKUP. So most of the time when I go train people, and we talk about VLOOKUP. Oh, I know VLOOKUP. I use VLOOKUP. I do all those things. But there are some major drawback with VLOOKUP, challenges in VLOOKUP that Microsoft has seen and are taking care of, by introducing the XLOOKUP. So they have introduced the XLOOKUP to make these tags, or to make for the limitations that we have in VLOOKUP. All right. So now let's see them. So we are going to use this example. So what is VLOOKUP? VLOOKUP extracts data based on the identifier, that is something that is common to the two data, is what is used to extract. So it's a tool for extracting data from your master sheet. So let's say that you have a set of data, and there's another set of subset of that data, and you're trying to extract, to look at the data and then bring out certain information that relates to the key information from the data itself. So maybe there's a table of people, that or customers, let's say customers for instance, and then they have their customer identifier, they have their their the ID. I want to say the customer ID. So all right. So like maybe the customer ID, the account number. So those things that are unique to the individuals. So now let's say for instance you are trying to extract information based on some set of customers, and their customers ID has been identified, but there's a particular information about them that you want to extract. So the VLOOKUP is actually used to extract based on those key identifiers, something that is common to the two tables. But the drawback of VLOOKUP is the fact that if your key identifier or the lookup value is after the value you want to extract, then that VLOOKUP is not going to work. You're going to have an error. So now let me show you what I mean. And in case you are trying to do it from your own side too, you can view it from your side, and just use your data. You look at this type of example that I'm saying, and you understand what I mean. So now look at it. So equals VLOOKUP. Lookup value is this. Yes. Table array is my range of data. Okay, that's table array. So if you want to use the trick that I showed you, you are going to click and then do Control-Shift down arrow. Okay, so that selects that. Then column index number is which column are you extracting from. So in this particular table, we are extracting from column 1, but our lookup value is after the column 1, so there's going to be a problem. And then what is the match, the type of match we want to do? We'll say exact match, we'll put 0. So you press enter and you have not available. Definitely is going to be an error. And I know there are people who have experienced this type of error message. This is the reason. If the lookup value is after the value you are extracting. So for VLOOKUP, this party code is supposed to be here for VLOOKUP to work. Okay? But with the XLOOKUP, you don't need that anymore. With XLOOKUP, you just simply put your equals XLOOKUP. So the XLOOKUP is looking for, the first thing is looking for is lookup value, and as usual you provide the lookup value. Then the next thing is the lookup array. So it's saying this thing that I want to look up for, where can I find it? Of course you can find it in column C. You can just simply choose the column, or if there's another type of data, then you do your selection. So I will just use this fast method. Then the return array is saying what I want to bring out here. Where is it? It's under column B. So I will just click the column header, and that will give me B column B. Then it says if I cannot find, this is another very beautiful thing that makes XLOOKUP more fantastic. In VLOOKUP, we have to write another, we have to attach another function to do this, but it has been taken care of. That is, if I can't find this thing that you are telling me to look for, what should I put? Just put 0. If you need to do this, you need to put if error or if NA. You need to attach if NA with the VLOOKUP to be able to do this. But with the XLOOKUP, you don't need an attachment. Then it says the match type. Of course, it's exact match. You put 0, close the bracket, and you press enter, and you see that your result is out. So party A is democratic. You can see that party 1 is green, and so on. Party B is Republican, as you can see. Fantastic. So that is the XLOOKUP. Then filter. This is another beautiful one. Okay, so let me just, I intend to finish this, so but I booked short time for myself, but because of you, I'm going to extend. All right, so I want to complete the 10. Now, the filter function. Now, we're not talking about filter 2. We're talking about filter function. For those who understand the importance of function, function is a way of isolating text or solution or formula or something, using a particular dedicated name or function name. So you can easily, relate with that data and control it yourself when you use function. So for instance, I want to filter out certain part of this data, using the filter function. The first thing I want to do is I want to deal with the product, and the product is carrots. And then maybe I want to extract country and possibly United States. So I will come to this portion and I will type equal sign and I will put filter. Okay. So the filter. So take note of the screen tip from the filter option. The screen tip is asking me for array and what to include, and then if it is empty, what should it put there. Okay, so my array is going to be the portion I want to work with. So I'll probably just go with yes, let me just go with A2 to D2. Then I'm going to select it downward, Control Shift down arrow. Okay, so that gives me the entire array. So that is A2 to D214. Okay, so what do I want to include? I want to include the products. All right, I want to include these products. So I can select from B2. Now, in using filter, one thing that I need to understand is you shouldn't include the header, otherwise it will cause problem. So I will select this downward, that is B2 So B214 for include. Say what do I want to? I will now say it is equal to caret. I'll say B2 to B214 should be equal to caret. That's what I want to include. Then I'll put a comma. Then I'll say if I can't find it, then you should put empty string. So that will be good. Then I press enter. So as you can see, it has isolated only caret for me. And I can copy it, I can work with it, I can use it for any other thing. So let's say I want to do, okay, apple. You see that it changes. Can you see? Changes. So let's say I want to deal with banana. Can you see that it changes? So with the filter function, you automate your process and you make your so you can also do this same thing for country, in which case your array will include the selection will get to F instead of D. So that's F. And then where you are extracting from will be F to F2 to F214. Okay? And it should be equals to United States. So press enter, and you can see that I have all these from United States. Okay. Now another one that I want to show us is called the sort. Okay. You can use the sort function to sort out certain data. So it's called sort. So I like typing my function in uppercase, but it doesn't matter. So whether it's uppercase or lowercase, it really does not matter. So for this sort, you have to select your entire range. Okay, so that will be from A2, so to the end, and then down. That's so I use the Control Shift right arrow key and then Control Shift down arrow key. That's what I use to select. So instead of dragging, like I showed you in one of the previous tricks, you don't need to be dragging and dragging. You can easily do that. So then the second thing is that he said I should provide the sort key. So the sort key is which column from my selection. The sort index, is which column. So I have how many columns? I have column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 columns, A, B, C, D to F. So I'm sorting using the second column, which is column 2. That is product. So that's why I will type 2 here. And then the next thing is the sort order. So sort order is 1 for ascending minus 1 for descending. So I'll just simply put 1, close the bracket, press enter, and you can see that these are sorted according to my product. So I isolated the sorting according to the index number. Good. So now let's look at another one. It's called unique. So this unique function helps you to bring out unique value from your data. Okay, unique. So let's say this product, I want to know what are the unique products that we have. So sometimes you are working with your Excel sheet and you want to know what are the unique products that you have in your worksheet or in your organization. So you can, or that is recorded here. So you can easily click type equal sign, unique. You open your bracket, okay, and then it's asking for the array. So just provide the array. That is click on that product. That's B1. Control Shift down arrow will select your entire array. So at this point, you really don't need to do much. Just close it, and that gives you the unique items. So you have the header. So I included that so that I can just have it. So let's say I want to do some calculations based just sum if, count if, and all those stuff. So this is a good way of preparing a table for myself using the unique function to get the unique items. Okay, and don't forget that this is a function. So if you want to reuse it, and you don't want the function to be resetting, you can easily copy it like what I showed you before. Copy and paste special. You can also use the paste value quickly here if you don't want to bring the paste special um, um, out, the paste special dialog box. So you can see that this has been converted to a value instead of the unique function. So going back to the unique, so all I just did was I type equals unique, and then selected my range B2, B1 to B214. Okay, so lastly, I want to show you another very beautiful tool that I use to avoid error, prevent error in data entry. This one is the data validation list. Okay, so I hope we are following. I hope you are enjoying it. These are powerful things that will help you. Okay, so now let's go there. So this one is not a function. This is a tool. So you are going to select the area that you want to apply the list to. So to prevent error in data entry, you use list. So I have location as national, international. I have departments as sales, finance. So, but I don't want maybe my staff or something to come here and be typing these things one by one. In the process of typing, they may make mistake and spell any of these things wrongly. And of course, if this spelling is incorrect, analysis will be very difficult to achieve. So the reasons why we have problem in data analytics is when the data is not consistent, when there is too much error in data, and that's why we have what we call the process of data cleaning. So, but if you ensure proper entry of data, you can avoid the problem of cleaning data in the process of analyzing. So, and this is one of the tools that can help you to avoid that. So, I will select the area, then I will go to Data tab. I'll go to Data tab. So, under the Data tab, you will see validate. Okay, it's hiding somewhere. So that's it. You see data validation. So you click data validation. And then in this data validation dialog box, you're going to select list. And then where you have source, you are going to highlight your set of data. And then just simply click OK. So if you come to this place now, I can easily select sales, finance, IT, finance, HR, sales. So as you can see, so there is drop down. So which makes entry very easy, and so you can have consistency in your data entry. That you won't have problem of spelling. So I can do it for location too. So the first thing you do is select the range where you want to apply the list. Go to the data tab and then click the validation tool. Sorry, I clicked the wrong one. So click the validation tool and then select list. And then for your source, you will just highlight the range, which is national and international. So you can use this thing for maybe something like gender, something like values that have consistent or similar items that you can easily select. So you can see. So using a list makes your work very, very, very easy, and it makes you to prevent error. you can prepare your worksheet, apply this tool, and give it to your data entry clerk or something, so that they can apply these settings. So, but if the items are unique, no, you can't use this list, because you can't expect, unless you have a list of all the names, even if they are unique. Put the list there, somewhere, and then refer to the list, okay, in your validation. Just highlight it, just like what we did for the sources, and then they can be picking the person's name, okay, pick their names according to the list. All right, so this, we have come to the end of the 10 hidden Excel tricks. So I believe you have learned something today. So this particular video is going to be on the YouTube channel. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow, share, and you can always find as many other videos of the Excel, of my Excel training. You'll find them everywhere on my YouTube channel. So everything you want to learn, yeah, even Microsoft Word. And as time goes on, I'm going to be putting data analytics, dropping a lot of things, soft skill development, leadership, and so on. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can enjoy this. So this live video is, you are going to have opportunity to have a replay of the video. Okay, so thank you for